What color are you? If you could pick one color right now to represent your energy, your mood, your current state of your emotions, what color would you be? What color comes to mind? So much of our creative expression in our art journals relies on our intuitive sense of just tapping in and listening to whatever comes first when we ask those sorts of questions of ourselves. What color would I be? How am I feeling today? What is my next step? Whatever it is, when we ask our highest wisdom, when we ask that little voice inside our head to help share with us that inspiration, that spark that leads us on our own journey to self-awareness, self-understanding, and greater self-care, we can lean in and trust our intuition, because truly our intuition is that connection to our spirit. So today I'm asking you, what color are you? Because so often when we explore in our journals, what we're doing is we are exploring with symbol. We're exploring in ways that speak to us in the moment. We're exploring with color, with shapes, sometimes with words, but oftentimes it can come across without even having words on the page. Because sometimes when we're looking at, what's going on in my life, how am I feeling in this moment? What is my next step? The answers aren't in clear formed words. The answers come to us as a feeling, as a knowing, as an energy itself. And all of these pages that I'm sharing with you have very different sense of energy, of emotions that are coming across on the page. This one has these high intensity colors. So intensity refers to that hue or color, right? We would say red, yellow, blue, green, those are all your hues. And when we use a hue that is like that bold, purest state, it is high intensity. When we start adding white or black or gray into those colors, we get more muted colors like this. So we might lower the intensity. And can you feel just the difference of the energy of these two pieces because of the color choices, right? The high intensity, it's like there's this bold energy, this brightness to it. It is in your face. It's unmistakable. Those people that wear like neon color shirts or something, it's like you can't miss them when they walk by, right? And maybe we all have days where we're feeling that level of intensity or an intense emotion that's happening. And other days we're feeling much more subtle. Our value scale, right? It kind of goes down as well. The value being the lightness or darkness of something. So there may be days where we really resonate with the values that are tuned in to something that's more soft, a gentleness to it, a flowing to it. And other times where we are connected to these high intensity colors. This one, although it's all monochromatic, meaning it's all in blue, it still has some high intensity colors that are in it. It's not dulled down at all. So what color are you? We get all of these choices when we think about expressing ourselves in our art journals, because really we can use anything we want, right? We can use any materials that you can make a mark with, any materials that you can put on your page, right? Whether it's writing, painting, drawing, doodling, collage, anything goes in your art journal, which is what makes it like this magical place, because you really get to tune in this moment. In this moment, what color am I drawn to? In this moment, what texture am I drawn to? Because there are days where we want to get messy. We want to like feel the squishy paint between our fingers, maybe in those high intensity moments. And we've got colors flying everywhere, and we find ourselves covered, in paint from fingertips, sometimes even on our toes in an art journal session. And then other times when we are feeling much more reserved, quiet energy. We notice that coming across on the page. So this is your place for self-expression. That is why we gather in Creative Spirit Gathering, to have a place to simply rest and take note. What's going on in my being? What's going on in my life? How can I show up today in a way that is authentically in alignment with where I am right now? So not only what color are you, right? When you ask this of yourself, what color am I? Maybe you're naturally tuned into, I'm feeling fiery hot and reds and oranges and lots of vibrant, warm tones. But then what intensity level are you feeling? Right? So what's the color? What's the intensity of that color? Is it soft and muted? Is it very intense, brilliant colors? Luckily, when we get our art supplies out, right, whether it's crayons, I happen to have water-soluble wax pastels with me today. These come in a wide range of colors, so I could easily pick up my color and start scribbling around, just using whatever color I'm drawn to. But when I look at these are some high intensity colors, right? Just look at that set right there. High intensity colors, they're like in your face. And so one of the great things with these is that I can use them straight out of the box as the pastel itself, but then I can also add water to it. And when I add water to the colors, it's almost like adding white, right? It starts to soften the color and it lessens the intensity of it. And so I have the ability to play around with not only the hue, but also the intensity that I'm working with. Changing that intensity also changes the value of it, right? Changes it to a lighter shade. And I could even blend and mix the colors if I wanted to make it a darker value and add some blacks into it and deepen it, make it rich. I can do that as well. For anyone that has not used these, I just want to give you a quick demo. I've been working with the theme of release and also working with my son in homeschool on doing botany lessons lately. So we've been really observing the leaves in our yard. So here's some of my leaf sketches, but I'm working with some of these release colors that are warmer, high energy colors. Because again, I'm working with that idea of release, but it's sort of that fiery, like release it to bring in the new stuff. So not release in a bad way. It feels cleansing and renewing and energizing. So that's why the leaves, why the colors that you see on the page. And so these are straight out of the box. I happen to be using Reeves water-soluble wax pastels here. You could do something like this with watercolors. You could do it with crayons, with regular oil pastels, and do your blending, whatever works for you. So I did kind of blend here from the reds into the oranges. So just want to use my plain brush with just water on it. And as I hit that, you can see how it's starting to soften it up. And then blending the colors together. And I could even add more water and drag that down, right? And start making those colors even lighter as I'm moving them around the page. So for me, these are one of those sort of go-to tools that I keep handy for art journaling, because it does allow me to play with that different levels of intensity, to lay down some bold color really fast, but then really see, you know, like, where am I feeling in the moment? Am I feeling a little softer than those high intensities? And so again, you don't have to use these today, but it just gives you one place to play around and explore in your journals. As you're asking yourself, what color am I? What color am I? What intensity am I? What value am I? These questions, again, it's not intended so that we can create the most beautiful artwork ever in the world. It's so that we get this place to authentically lean in to ourselves, a place to rest with what is, who am I right here, right now, and exploring all of those different aspects of being, mind, body, and spirit. So as we explore this idea in our journals today, I want to take a moment first to move into a moment of meditation so that we're coming into our journals from a place of stillness. So wherever you are, I invite you first just to take a breath. Notice your mind. Notice the energies that are happening there as you're processing these different ideas of color, how color relates to your thoughts, how color relates to your emotions. And just presence that. Notice what's coming forward. Take a moment to notice the body. Are you holding on tight anywhere? Anything you need to roll out, release some of that tension, any energies that don't serve you in this moment. And as we allow our minds and our bodies to be heard, we invite them to come to a place of stillness. As we move deeper within ourselves to our own heart center, a place of peace, balance, of harmony. We allow ourselves to breathe deeply into the heart. Release slowly. We feel the stillness here. Allowing ourselves to be at peace with the stillness of the heart allows us to notice and observe our own emotions, our own thoughts, without judgment, without blame or shame or guilt, to simply notice. From the heart center, we become observers of our world, both inner and outer. So we take another deep breath of stillness here at the heart. And release into stillness of silence. The color of my life is ever changing and shifting. I am its creator. I am the artist of the most beautiful me I can imagine. I am an expression of love, of light, and joy in the world. And I let my true colors shine. And so it is. With that, we bring ourselves back to this moment. Before we move into our journals, I want to take a moment to bless our gifts and offerings. Thank you to those who have given already in support of Creative Spirit Gathering. For those who have not yet given, you might wish to hold your imagined, envisioned love offering in your hands. Those who have given, we holds your offerings and our knowing. And together, let us share this beautiful blessing of our gifts. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And we thank you all for your blessings that become a blessing to this creative spirit gathering into the community that we serve. Now we will move on to our time of creative journaling, again, exploring that question of what color am I? Color am I?